Here we are, one more time, Security Plus practice exam number 16. 16, that means that, well, there's 15 ones before this one, so got a little bit better. I went out of my way this time. I had one of my students who is practicing or studying for Security Plus, and they said, Professor K, Dr. K, I'm going through, and I'm answering all your questions, and, I think you can make them harder. I think you can make them harder. And so I went out of my way this episode to get the most difficult questions that we could theoretically do that aren't hands-on. Because, you know, virtual environment, YouTube, we can't do hands-on, right? But what we can do is we can do some really difficult Security Plus questions, right? So I'd really like to know how well you did. Did you get 5 out of 5? Did you get 1 out of 5? Did you get 0 out of 5? How did I do? How did we do? As you're going through this one, I would love a comment in the section below and tell me exactly how you did with this one. Did you get all 5 of them right? Are you a master of Security Plus and ready to take your exam? Or do you need a little bit more study? Is humility? I saw one of my students post and he said, I really appreciate your video, but I had a good lesson in humility. And that's okay. That's okay. We're here to learn. Nobody knows how bad or good you did, and nobody knows your YouTube name. So if you did really well, I want to see it. I like your successes. I love it when students come over here and they comment and they say, I passed my Security Plus exam. I really appreciate your videos. Believe it or not, that's what I get out of it. I get a lot out of that intrinsic value from y'all. All right, let's move on without me talking and bubbling all over it, right? Let's get into this. Question number 1. An organization is preparing for a cybersecurity audit to comply with several regulatory frameworks. The audit team performs a gap analysis. Which of the following? Oh, and then it provides us some details, right? Encryption protocols do not meet the latest standards in GDPR. Incident response procedures are not fully aligned with PCI DSS. Data retention policies violate HIPAA requirements. Which of the following is the primary goal of conducting a gap analysis in the context of the bullet points? I'll add that little modifier on there. Now, you're reading through these. Maybe I need to get my big head out of the way. Do I need to? Yeah, I'm a little straight down a little bit right there. There we go. So you can read that, right? Which do you think, right? I had to scush, man. I got my feet up on the desk and everything. Yeah. So I made this one difficult, huh? Let's. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I think it's difficult, and everybody's like, dude, it wasn't that bad. It's good, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay. Shall we answer it? Do you think you got enough time? Do you think you know the answer? Make sure as you're reading through this answer, if you need to pause the video, you can, right? This is a question I would spend probably about a minute on. Usually I like to spend only about 45 seconds. Remember that Security Plus is going to arrange their difficulty in questions. And so some questions we're going to answer very, very quickly. We're going to know it right off the bat. We're going to be like, oh, 30 seconds done. Other questions, we're going to be in the medium to rough difficulty, maybe 45 seconds. This one, I would put this one as a difficult. There's a lot of words on this. We have to read through it, figure out what it's asking us, and the answers are full of words too. So I would spend probably a good minute on this question. I would not expect to see a lot of questions like this on the exam. Are there questions like this? Yes, there are. All right, let's answer this one. An organization is preparing for a cybersecurity audit to comply with several regulatory frameworks. The audit team performs a gap analysis. And discovers encryption protocols do not meet the latest standards in GDPR. Incident response procedures are not fully aligned with PCI DSS. And data retention policies violate the HIPAA requirements. Which of the following is the primary goal of conducting a gap analysis in this context? All right, and this is where it comes in. What is the primary goal of conducting gap analysis? In the context of what it gave us, right? Don't go outside that question. Don't go outside what the question is asking of you. All right, shall we start with A? To quantify the risks associated with non-compliance with regulatory requirements. No, we don't care about quantifying the risks associated with non-compliance. That's not what we're here to do, right? A gap analysis is to identify where our current practices fall short of industry standards and regulatory requirements. That's what the primary purpose of a gap analysis is. It's not to quantify risks. That would be a risk assessment. And so A, out the door. B, to identify discrepancies between the organization's current state and the requirements of applicable frameworks. To identify discrepancies between the organization's current state and the requirements of applicable frameworks. This is a possibility. This is a possible. I like this one. C, to prioritize vulnerabilities that require immediate remediation based on risk levels. No, that's a vulnerability analysis. That's not a gap analysis, vulnerability analysis. And so C out the door. D, to develop new policies that meet the unique requirements of each regulatory framework. Because what we need is more policies. That's what we need. But does that sound right? Between B and D, which one is the better answer? Which one's the better answer? If you guessed D, I got some bad news for you. That's not correct. It's B. It's B. Identify discrepancies between the organization's current state, where are we now, and the requirements of the applicable frameworks. That is a gap analysis. That is the gap analysis of where we want to do. That's to identify the organization's current practices, where we are now, and where we fall short in regulatory and frameworks. And I should say regulatory and industry standards, excuse me. So B is going to be our best answer. Did you get this one right? If you did, Chris Pie 5 to you. You were awesome. If you didn't, that's okay. Need to learn something. If you learned something, Chris Pie 5 to you. All right, question number 2. Oh, I can sit back up. Question number 2. During an investigation, a cybersecurity team discovers that attackers have compromised a website that employees frequently visit. The attackers use the compromised website to deploy malware that targets vulnerabilities in unpatched browsers. The following steps were executed. Attackers infected the website with malicious scripts targeting vulnerabilities in specific software versions. Employees' devices were infected with visiting the site using those specific versions. Once compromised, the attackers used the infected device to move laterally within the organization's internal network. Which of the following types of attacks best fits this scenario? Okay, so again, this is one of those things where you have to read what it's asking, right? Which of the following which of the following types of attacks best fits this scenario? I want you to read through it. Okay, what did the attacker do? We've narrowed it down. We said this happened first, then this, right? So what is that? What is that, right? It's not as simple as just going through and being like, we did this, this, and this, right? You have to know the attack. You have to know what happened. Identify it. A little bit more difficult than just saying, that's what this type of attack is, okay? Read through it. Now, this one would take me, for me, it'd take me about a minute. I'd say about a minute on this one. All these are probably going to take me a minute. These are all lots of words. And this is one of the things that CompTIA loves to do. They love to make sure that you actually know what you're talking about. This would be a highly difficult question on CompTIA, which means it's worth more points too. So again, expect to see at least a couple of these types of questions as we're going through. Shall we answer this one? Shall we go through it? During an investigation, a cybersecurity team discovers the attackers compromised a website that employees frequently visit. That right off the bat almost gives us our answer. Right? We almost don't even need to read what else is going on. We already know what type of attack. Just by that one sentence, we know what type of... All the rest of this garbage, it's all there to mislead you and fool you and make you read through it. But the very first question, very first sentence, I should say, answers our question. We can tell exactly what type of attack just from that statement. That a cybersecurity team discovers the attackers have compromised a website that employees frequently visit. What attack is that? If you know, the rest of it is, we don't even need to read it. But we're going to, right? The attacker used the compromised website to deploy malware that targets vulnerabilities in unpatched browsers. The following steps were executed. Attackers infected a website with malicious scripts targeting vulnerabilities in specific software versions. This is pretty standard for this type of attack. Employee devices were infected when visiting the site using those specific versions. Again, pretty standard. Once compromised, the attackers used the infected devices to move laterally within the organization's internal network. Which of the following types of attacks best fit the scenario? Do you know what it is? Do you know? Or did the question mislead you? That's okay. Let's start with D. Remote code execution attack. RCE. Remote code execution. No, it's not a remote code execution attack. It's not. It is a form. We did some of that, but in order to do remote code execution means that there had to be a vulnerability in the code from the get-go, not malware. And so that's not the case. That's not what happened here. So it can't be in our remote code execution. Drive-by download. No, not a drive-by download. APT, not even a real attack. Advanced persistent threat. This one was designed to lead you astray. It's a watering hole attack. It tells us literally in the first sentence what it is. Right? Yes, CompTIA is mean like that. They will answer or give you questions like this. A is going to be the right answer, and we know it just from this first sentence. Discovers that attackers compromised a website employees frequently visit. A. There you go, right there. Question number 3. An enterprise network architecture is considering SACE solution to secure their cloud-based infrastructure. They must address several requirements, including secure remote access for employees, integration of software-defined WAN. I shouldn't have said that, my bad. And advanced threat protection. However, the team also needs to ensure compliance with data residency laws across multiple countries. Given these constraints, which of the following challenges must the architect resolve before implementing SACE? What do you think? What do you mean? What is SACE? What is SACE? Do you remember what SACE is? Do you remember? If not, that's okay. What can we do? What is the question asking us? Remember, always read what the question is actually asking us. Are there hints in the question? This is another difficult one. It is. This one's more difficult than the last one. The last one was kind of easy if you knew what to look for. This one a little bit off to the side, but that's okay. You still got it. You still got it. I have faith and confidence in you. You're gonna ace this one. If not, hey, we'll learn something. We'll learn something on the way. Let's answer this one. If you need more time, you can pause the video. An enterprise network architect is considering a SACE solution, secure access, secure edge solution, to secure their cloud-based infrastructure. They must address several requirements, including secure remote access for employees, integration with software-defined wireless access network, and advanced threat protection. Advanced threat, not wireless access network. Oh, wide area network. Oh my gosh. Okay. My bad. However, the team also needs to ensure compliance with data residency laws across multiple countries. Given these constraints, which of the following challenges must the architect resolve before implementing secure access, secure edge? Ensure network segmentation in a cloud environment. I like this one. I do. I like it a lot. Let's put A on the back burner. I like A. I do. It's a possible. Verifying that the cloud provider supports granular security policies. If they didn't, I mean, yeah, should we make sure they do? Yeah, but that's it's pretty common. It's a possible, but I like ensure network segmentation better. I do. So I would put that as B would be less than A. Ensure our secure access, secure edge solution complies with regulations. Ooh, I like this one too. I like this one too. So A and C are both good ones. Integrating endpoint detection and response tools into the SACE network. Nah, we don't really need that one. EDR solutions, EDR tools in our secure access, secure edge. It's there to mislead you. It is. So it's between A and C. It's between A and C. Which one's better? Which one is better when we're looking at secure access, secure edge? What do you think? All right. If you guessed C, 100% correct. 100% correct. So why is C better than A? Well, because of that last sentence. However, the team also needs to ensure compliance with data residency laws across multiple countries. We have to make sure that regulatory compliance, that's where we need to come into play. That's going to be better than network segmentation in a cloud environment. I got another big thing for you. That network segmentation in cloud environment is pretty standard. That's not a difficult thing. That most of them already do that, if not all of them. I actually don't think I've ever seen one where we did networking in a cloud environment where we couldn't segment it, right? So it was misleading. Did I mislead you? Probably on purpose. Oh, absolutely, just like CompTIA. C is going to be our right answer. There you go. C. All right. Question number 4. An organization implements a CYOD policy, allowing employees to select their devices from pre-approved options. We gave you a hint. Employees can use their devices for work and personal tasks. To meet security standards, the following requirements must be enforced. Corporate data must be encrypted on all devices. Personal applications must be isolated from work applications. And DLP controls must apply only to work data. Which technologies are most critical to ensuring compliance with these requirements? Ooh, we got some difficult ones. What do you think? What do you think on this one? Read through them. A lot of acronyms. I feel like we can get rid of a couple right off the bat. I feel like we can. Let's, I'm going to let you read through this one. I'm going to give you a second on this one. What do you think? I need some Jeopardy music in the background. I played music on one of my videos a long time ago, and YouTube came out and they were like, no, you can't do that. That's licensed music. And I was like, I'm not going to do that again. Because then I had to go through and remove the background noise. Oh, it was a pain in the butt. So not gonna do that. So we'll just talk instead. We'll just talk. I know you love hearing my voice. It's like the sweet. I don't want to say it's as good as Morgan Freeman. I don't think anybody's as good as Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman is like, he's like the bomb when it comes to voice. Oh, I could fall asleep to that man's voice. I really could. He's so awesome. Matter of fact, I do. I usually when I have problems sleeping, I know way too much information. March of the Penguins. I know it's the Penguin documentary, but it's Morgan Freeman. It puts me right to sleep. It does. It's like a warm blanket. Yeah, I wonder if Morgan Freeman is ever gonna watch my videos. Be like, he's gonna be like, my voice is like a warm blanket. Yes, it is. 100%. I could wrap myself in Morgan Freeman's voice and go fall right to sleep. I really could. All right, a little bit creepy if you think about it. Let's get into this one. Question number 4. An organization implements a CYOD. CYOD. Who remembers what CYOD is? CYOD. Choose your own device. It almost gives it to you. It's like right up there where it says it allows employees to select their devices from pre-approved options. I mean, it pretty much tells you what CYOD is right in the question, but you know, hey. All right, so let's go through this one. Which technologies are most critical in ensuring compliance with these requirements? What about mobile application management? Mobile application management. MAM is a decent answer. It's a decent answer. I like MAM. I really do. It does some of this, right? So maybe on the MAM. FDE, full disk encryption. Well, full disk encryption would definitely knock out our encryption, right? Corporate data must be encrypted on all devices. That would definitely do that portion of it. Would it isolate applications, right? Would it isolate personal applications from work applications? No. Would it do DLP controls to only work data? No, it does the entire device. And so FDE, not a good answer. We have mobile device management. I like MDM too, because those are both mobiles, right? So do either one of those provide us what we want to know? Does either one of them provide us the full gambit of stuff of either portion, right? And then we have containerization, another great answer. So this is what makes this question so difficult, is because we have 3 possibles. All 3 of them can be utilized in a device. So which one's the best answer out of MAM, MDM, and containerization? Which one do you think is going to be best? So let's talk about MAM real quick. Mobile application management. Right now, you would think that mobile application management would have the capability, since it's actually managing applications. It most likely does encryption, right? Maybe. But what it doesn't do is it doesn't isolate work applications from personal applications. And so MAM, not going to be a good answer because it doesn't have that capability. Let's talk about MDM, mobile device management. Now, MDM does provide a centralized control over the device, right? It can enforce security. It can provide us remote wiping. It does all that, and it does monitoring. However, it doesn't isolate personal applications. It's an all-or-one, right? It's an all-or-one. And so containerization, what about containerization? I'm assuming that since we've already ruled out MAM and MDM, and containerization has to be correct, and you would be correct. It is. And containerization separates corporate data. It separates the data from one position over to the other. So we can separate it. We can encrypt it because it isolates it. And we can put data loss prevention controls in the work data because it's containerized. And so containerization does all 3. It does encryption, it does application isolation, and it does DLP for that container, for that isolated portion. And so containerization, D, is going to be the best answer on this one. There it is. That's the only one that does all 3. Only one that does all 3. All right, question number 5, another matching question. 10 great matches to go through. 10 of them to go through. Obviously, we're not going to spend all day on these, but I do want to go through them. I want to enjoy the prosperity of doing this. It's difficult to come up with PBQs on YouTube. It really is. I would love to kind of go through and do hands-on stuff. Maybe I'll start doing that. Maybe I'll start doing hands-on and show you how to do it. and you can kind of follow along. I'd have to create a virtual environment. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe we'll do that. Well, probably a future project. I got a lot on my plate. Just trying to maintain these videos, believe it or not, is becoming a chore. But enough of my talking about it. Let's get into this. Let's get into this. If you need more time, go ahead and pause it. We're not going to give you 20 minutes to read through it. We're just going to answer it. So if you need more time, this would be a performance-based question on Security Plus. Should we start with one? Let's start with one. It's on the left-hand side. We'll start with one. Data exfiltration. I really like doing the A side. Let's do the A side. I changed my mind. Let's do A. Let's do the A side. Causing disorder for its own sake. Causing disorder. So match the motivation with the correct description. Causing disorder for its own sake. That obviously would be disruption and chaos, right? Chaos, disorder. So 9 is A. B, retaliation due to personal grievances. I feel like that's an easy one. That's right underneath chaos and disruption. That's going to be a revenge. Revenge. Stealing information for intelligence or competitive advantage. Well, that would be espionage. That would be 2. 2 would be C. Then D, cyber attacks is part of a broader conflict between nations. Obviously, that one's going to be war. Then we have E, coercing actions by threatening to release damaging information. Well, I feel like that's blackmail. Blackmail right off the bat. Removal of sensitive data from an organization. Removal of sensitive information from an organization. That would be data exfiltration. Data exfiltration. So 1 is F. G, driven by moral reasons, possibly conflicting with law. G, that would obviously be ethical. H, actions motivated by strong personal or political beliefs. I feel like that one would be philosophical or political beliefs. It's almost in the words right there. I, pursuit of illegal financial rewards. Well, that would be financial gain. And then J, interrupting services to make them unusable. That would be service disruption. 3. Pretty easy when you go through it. The sheer amount of them, that's where it comes into problems. And I think where most students get a problem with this is they get one wrong one, and now it kind of has that domino effect, right? It kind of has to go through and then spiral out of control. This one really wasn't that difficult. Maybe I need to crank this up a little bit, but that's going to be our answers right off the bat. I'm Dr. K. I hope this was educational. I hope that I was able to stump some of you. And now next time, we'll see you around. Have a good one.